Board. Board games. Board games is what I'm talking about. Board games. Board games. I'm not gonna shout. Today it's about I don't know what will happen as we go. We will somehow carry on in a meandering roundabout way like this song. I what will happen today. Maybe there'll be something that we can play. Maybe there'll be something that I read. I don't know. Maybe there'll be something that I need to sing. But it might be tangentially about board games and chaotic shenanigans. It's what I'm talking about. Board games and chaotic shenanigans. I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning. It's lovely to see you, see your name. Like maybe it's my overly pedantic nature, but have your presence. Let's go with that. It's lovely to have you here. And Dutch Yoda, I was thinking about you yesterday. You missed. I think, yeah, I sent you the song on Facebook anyway. But it is another episode of Bezzy Beats and Board Game Bladder. I am Bez, and I guess I supplied a beat and the board game bladder today. And for in as much as we have either of those, this is episode 262, and no, that's not what I'm doing at all. Sorry, let me change that banner. Today is Shenanigans. And so, yep, anything goes, and I don't know what I am doing. But as always, we do have something of a structure. We start off by talking about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. And hello, Andrew January. It is lovely to see you. And so, yeah, today, for those who don't know, I'm fairly sure I should have a, yeah, there we go. Chaotic Shenanigans, exclamation mark, add task to add a task to here. And as long as you've got 500 points, exclamation mark, do task to make me do one of these tasks. Now, you got up early. Hello, Ruff. It's lovely to see you. Why is this not flashing? I'm very sorry about my poor internet. Hopefully you can see me. Hello, Russ. It is lovely to see you. And Dakota. So just so people know, this week, because I have such terrible internet, this week is all about the chaotic shenanigans. Oh my gosh, everyone's coming in. Hello, Hal. I hope you're all doing well. And congratulations on, yeah, managing to get up. I know that it's an achievement. Genuinely, did you manage to get anything done so far, or is it just a case of rolling out of bed and being like, oh, I see on the Discord that Bez is on. Yeah, I should go and listen to her. And hello, Nicholas. It is lovely to see you as always. Now, when we're talking about recent highlights, and I'm going to sing again, recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. So I had a bit of time reading back through this book. I think I played it maybe 4 times, I want to say. Now, as I said, this game is like no other pick your path choice book. You know what I mean? It's like an adventure book, it's a game book, except there's no rolling of dice. You're just picking your path. This one has 2 other things. The choices kind of collapse into one another, and then you've got an interesting story here. There is and 15 chapters I want, and you'll notice that that's and 216. Now it's exactly just tree. Sometimes they lapse. There's at least one chapter that does that, but for the most part, it's just, hey, you're coming out of school. Now, do you go to college or do you travel? College, do you do science or do you do art? Done art. Now, do you take drugs or do you not take drugs? Now, do you do this other thing? Do you? And it gets really adult. It's yeah, it deals with, okay, I'm going to actually flash up the banner. If you don't want to hear about potential, I'm just going to talk about like trigger warnings of what's in this book. So if basically this, I don't know if that's even appropriate. That's like quite I don't know what to say, like adult content. Let's go with that. Brief adult-ish content. Adult-ish content. Okay, so with this book, there are times when it delves themes of drug abuse and sexual abuse. You can everything. There can be murder. There's a chapter where you get to shoot your rapist. And so this book, when you pick a path, it's going to be like maybe, I don't know, 12 pages, 15 pages, each of the paths. Alba that I talked about the other day. And this is the 10th of one season. So it's can quite often be a good. Here's another one that happens to be like 3 pages long, which is unusual for the typical, if you're used to stuff like fighting fantasy, which is, okay, hey, let's go and smash a bunch of monsters, but really brutal. And this gets really dark, but it gets really, at times, it, like, how can I talk about this? This is, despite the brevity of the stories, it's really, yeah, powerful stuff. And as it says on the back, there's over 150 endings because it just trees, branches until there's nothing more. And that is Pretty Little Mistakes, written by Heather McElhatton. And that is, if you like your adventure style things and you want something a bit more adult, that kind of, yeah, this is playing the role of someone who's just come out of school. You make all the choices and all sorts of things happen. And I quite like it because you can sit and play it forward in a single sitting. And so that I have you, and lovely to see you. And yep, it's not talk about the most brutal stuff that happens in the book, just to tell you. But yeah, I was briefly considering reading through one of those stories like a week ago, and then I realized, wow, I just cannot do this because of how it is. Yeah, there's no way, unless I have like the not safe for work of this, where I just put not safe for work at the start. But it's, anyway, what else is going on in chat? Sorry about that. And yep, enjoy your food shopping and getting yourself your coffee. And to quote us to the other book that I read, maybe I will cover that part of the title, is Bull. It's by David Grieber, and this is a great book about the fact that a lot of jobs are just pointless. Lots of jobs just don't, how can I put this? Lots of jobs just feel like there's no utility in them even existing. I've only read through the first chapter, but it's a powerful book, and so far it was loaned to me by someone. And yeah. And thank you, Russ, for lurking away. Technical feedback. Yeah, for me, image randomly stops for an instant. The internet connection, not complaining, just so you know. Thank you very much for letting go. Hopefully, next Friday, as in 6 days' time, will all be better. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm really about this week. Let me try changing to my mobile phone hotspot and see if that makes anything better. So I'm going to go off a wee bit because I've got to things better potentially. I know this sounds weird, but yeah, okay, so I am now hotspotting. Let's see, is this better for people? Is it worse? Let me know. But yeah. So so far it's better. Great. Okay, so that's the lesson. What else did I do yesterday? Oh yeah, we played chapter 1.5 of My City. And yeah, how can I put this? So I saw a Twitter thread by Jeff Engelstein, which was commenting on the fact that politics, it's like a game where everybody has to agree upon the rules. For one person to give up power and then to let the other person in, obviously I'm talking about the current fact that Trump might not be giving up power in a very favorable manner. And yeah, so there's a lot of there's a requirement for everyone to play by the rules. Now, someone else, I think it was Bruno Feduti, was saying, oh, the difference is that in a game, nothing matters, and so you can't learn anything from games. And I get where Bruno is coming from. I get, obviously, life and games are completely different, but at the same time, if you can accept that within this game, we are not going to all win. Some of us are just going to do badly, but we've still got to acquiesce to the rules of the game. We've got to carry on. I think that can prepare us a little bit for saying, wait a minute, you don't have to, not everything is about you. You don't have to put your own, not everything has to be a measure of how good a person you are. You can be a good person and still have done a thing badly. You can lose a game and still be a valuable person. You can, and that kind of prepares you for life, I think. Saying, hey, you are going to sometimes get bad test results. Sometimes you'll ask someone out on a date and they'll say no. And sometimes you will be fired from a job, and you've got to be willing to accept these things. And I think that it can get a little bit of taste. So apparently the conclusion is that hotspotting is better but not great. Did I used to read choose your own adventure books? If so, what was my favorite title? My favorite title was almost certainly The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Not Warlock of Firetop Mountain specifically, just a whole I'm not going to get the entire library, but yeah, sure, I've brought them down before. I've got about 12, 15 game books, and it was actually, apart from my green ones, and there's only 3 other game books, and and the ones that I got from Essen a couple of years ago. There's only 3 other ones that I've got. And so, yeah, honestly, it was pretty much only the fighting fantasy ones, and I think that might have been just because that was available at the time. Nicholas agrees. in that saying what happens in games has no meaning whatsoever is, I think, naive. Yeah, because actually that's what I wanted to get into. Because going back to recent highlights, so I have been playing a wee bit of My City, and we played chapter 1.5, I'm going to call it, because it was chapter 2 essentially. We played by the rules of chapter 2, and 3/4 of the way through, Parents 1 says, oh, can I put this building here? And I say, no, it needs to be touching at least one side. You can't just touch the corners. And Parent 1 says, well, I want to do this. Let me do this. And no, if you aren't playing by the same rules as us, then it's a bit unfair. Well, let me do this. And they say, well, please, can you play by the rules? And because these are the rules by which we've accepted. And Parents 1, anyway, so Parent 1 says, okay, I just don't want to play. And then Parent and my other parent, Parent A, my sibling and myself just kind of finish the game, compare scores, and we agree that, okay, we're going to play out the game, but not put any stickers on. And it got me thinking that, like, I don't want to talk about anyone, but, you know, it's not great to be unable to accept these rules. And I think sometimes there's a bit, I'm going to say, pride in that, pride in every possible facet of yourself, that you take any sense that you might have done something badly as a, you know what, this is not me and I just want to throw in the towel. And that was a sad moment. Afterwards, I checked in and said, you know, are you okay? And do you actually want to play again? Because, you know, whilst I've got in the game for free as a review copy, you know, it's also, you know, about the safety of the people. And then we did afterwards end up playing Rummy like 4 times. But yeah, and then the parents said, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was just that I'd made some bad mistakes. And so I think realistically going forwards, we might just say, okay, we have a practice game before each game so that people, yeah, I did. And is the, so, and yes, I did. And I, oof, yeah, that's a hot kettle of fish, isn't it? Figuratively speaking. I would be interested to ask an Italian speaker that I know and trust. And actually, oh no, I can only think of one right now. One Italian speaker I know and I'm friends with who's also in the board game industry. Anyway, so yeah. So, oh yeah, Nicholas is Italian, isn't? Yeah, Nicholas, you're Italian. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. You're Italian. Wow. Sorry. I was thinking of someone else. So I guess I know 2 people who are into board games and yeah, are friends and yeah. So 2 people who oh, I'm sorry. So Nicholas Strachia, I'm not sure where to put the emphasis, Strachia or Strachia, but I would be interested to hear your opinion because my understanding is that the whole paragraph that I saw written out was just badly, as far as I understood from the translations, it was badly written. It was kind of a half-formed thought, and it doesn't. If I want to try and put the kindest interpretation that I can on these things, and so in a sense, I want to say, okay, let's try and not condemn someone too hastily. I think that what Boards and Dice did in saying that, yes, we need to make a strong stand, I can respect that. And but yep, I don't know. I didn't feel like I was able to understand enough of the intent and enough of of the meaning, and actually what was. I just didn't feel like I was able to understand it well enough to get into it. I've tried to listen, and I don't feel like I'm in a position to talk about it right now. But I was seriously considering, if not physically removing, maybe just vetoing for now stuff to do with their games in the task list. But yeah, maybe we can have a private chat if you're, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to make this show just about that one thing. I would say that let's remember that people are more likely to come from a place of ignorance and thoughtlessness than they are to come from a place of genuinely wanting harm. I mean, sure, there's people who might be putting themselves over others, but I don't think that xenophobia is even about that. I think that I'm not saying that anyone is or is not xenophobic or racist or anything, but I think that when someone is, I think it's more likely to be from a source of, how can I put this? I think it's more likely to be from a source of ignorance and thoughtlessness, and yeah. And so, yeah, sure. If we want to talk about Tawantinsuyu, that's fine. Tawantinsuyu, I assume it's... Oh, the first link is actually to the game, as opposed, and then the second link is to the Inca Empire. Huh. I'll probably read through the Wikipedia page and completely ignore the game through. But yeah. Anyway, so Dang, you say Tawantinsuyu without too much trouble. And the name Nicola, as such, i.e. in my name, is Spanish, and so it would have the S at the end. So in proper Italian, it would be Nicolo or similar. There we go. So let me ask you, have you had any recent highlights? Have you had any recent achievements? What else has been good for me? I did go out for my morning walk. Have you been going out for your morning walk recently, Xate? Have you had an evening walk? Have you gotten outside recently? Because we are trying to keep each other accountable. I did start doing a bit of exercise. I did a bit of exercise when I got back in, and then I am planning to do this at least every second day. And Xate got to play Tawantinsuyu yesterday. There we go. So that is a recent highlight. And apparently Machiavelli, presumably from Machiavellian motivations, is called Niccolo Machiavelli. Xate is 17 days in a row for my Get Up and Do challenge, which is 200% success. Congratulations. That is super awesome. Nicola presented a project for the Zenobia Award. That is awesome. Yeah, Zenobia Award, something where they are encouraging people, especially from marginalized communities, to put forward, I think it's exclusive to marginalized communities in some manner, to put forward a game that's all about historical events. And Dutch Yoda has also been getting up and going outside. So congratulations to both of you. You're both super awesome. So that is recent highlights and achievements. And if you have anything else to share, then feel free as we go into brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Brilliant thing. I think brilliant thing is fingernails. Yep, fingernails. They're pretty brilliant. I mean, They help you pick up things. They help you grip onto things. I mean, they help you pull open levers like, in a tin can. That's pretty cool. Without fingernails, and fingernails protects your fingers. I'm not too sure how exactly that works, because it's not like the rest of your finger needs protection, is it? But it's not like I'm jabbing my fingernails into things. I always thought the concept of fingernails protects your fingers is a bit weird, but definitely it helps you grip. It also helps, you can decorate them and have a wee bit of personalization. So yay for fingernails. Fingernails are a brilliant thing. So I saw you shaking up that cup, and for a moment I thought you were preparing mate, says Javier. So many games about tea and no games about mate. And apparently Nicholas's game is about growing up as a descendant of immigrant families and natives in Argentina. Ooh, nice. And Dakota was able to get affiliates in 2 weeks. That's awesome. Congratulations. And I've also taken more accountability in my life with depression and dysphoria, and taking an active effort to make life better instead of bearable. That is super awesome. Yes, try and find those joys. Try and remember what you are achieving. Try and remember, like, as I was walking around, I walked the same path this morning, but it was all about, wow, I didn't notice. And I'm actually going to see if I apologize if the internet messes up briefly. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Link, Twitter, not Twitch. But yeah, I was just going to show a couple of hearts that I saw on my walk today. It was, yeah, sort of, wow, this is a walk that I've gone loads of times before, but I've not noticed these exact details before. And having that, we thing to having that. How can I put this? Image whilst, yeah. And yeah, Alex, there was some adultish. I mean, I didn't go into graphic details. I guess that's why I called it adultish. It was adult content, but without graphic details. And yeah, if you want adult content in a choose your adventure style book, which then Pretty Little Mistakes. Brilliant thing is the void. You stare into the void and it stares back at you. But I wanted to show you. Okay, this is going to, and this does not bode well for so much, but I want to show you. Here's a heart, and if you go to my Twitter, you will see a better picture of it, and it's like an actual biological looking heart. It's an actual literal heart, not just a cartoon heart, and it's stuck on a wall. Some people, yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's just there on a wall. Exactly, just there on the streets. And I thought that was pretty cool. Just noticing things and managing to take joys. And then going back to the brilliant thing, I pushed the button maybe to take the photograph. Anyway, so that is my brilliant thing for today. Fingernails and also just finding joys wherever you can. So if you have any questionably quick questions, go and ask, because for the next couple of minutes, it is all about the questionably quick questions. Questionably quick questions. So first question from whoever. The question I always ask myself is, where am I and what time is it? It is 10:31 and I am in Glasgow. And Xate is technically murderous. So, if we have any questionably quick questions, then feel free to share them, ask anything, whether it's about board game design, board games I love, or whatever, or else. Feel free to do one of these. I will probably Yep, Xate kills it on the dance floor. Murder on the dance floor. But you better not kill the groove, DJ. So, and so, and so, and so, and so. Let us, for the sake of chaotic shenanigans, feel free to ask any questionably quick questions for the entire episode. Comment, ask questions, fun like follow, do all that good stuff. If you want to check out some games, I need to do a couple of things today, that reminds me. You can check out the current iteration of Invisible and Bidabel, the two joint winners of the 2020 LDEC design contest. And so if you've got an LDEC, one of them's a lot simpler, one of them's a lot meatier for two people. And so check those things out if you wish. Otherwise, I'm going to quickly play a bit of Hangman. And I've been asking a question to lots of content creators because I think it's a good question. What's underused theme do you want to see a board game based on? Okay. What's underused theme? I would like to see more board games that are kind of like love and love and romantic comedies or letter writing. I mean, I know we've got Fog of Love. Fog of Love is, a great one. I think it's lovely. I would like to see more games. I would like to see more games that talk about the individual, like the nature of humanity. I would like to have more games that are about the nature of humanity. I'd like to have more games that are, when I say the nature of humanity, I mean, like, what's its life to go through a midlife crisis? What's its life to be alone? What's its like to be depressed? And I know there's a lot of LARPs that do this, but I'd like to have more board games that maybe explore death. I know there are some that already do this, but I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more board game. Yeah, that's my big thing that I can think of right now. Also, letter writing. I'd like to see some board games that are about writing letters. When I first heard the name Love Letter and people said, hey, there's this new game, Love Letter. It's not like anything you've ever played before. It's quite different. I was like, wow. All I know is that there's a game. It's called Love Letter, and it's very different. I mean, frankly, I was a bit disappointed when I played it. Sure, it's different because it's, a micro game. It's just 18 cards, and that did herald the birth almost of these tiny little games. It popularized the genre for sure. But I was imagining a game in which you're literally writing love letters. Like, that is the theme. Like, maybe, I don't know how it would work. Maybe it's like bits on the back, those fridge magnet things with little words. You put them together and then you're trying to write a love letter to someone, and then maybe someone else grades it based on how good a letter is, and then you have to use certain words within your love letter. I don't know, or maybe you have some fridge magnets and you have to use those words, and then you literally write other bits of it. And yeah, Nicholas also thought the same. And yeah, I would like to actually have games that are about writing love letters or writing letters or writing. And yeah, something where you're actually assembling words, and that I would also like to have more games that are literally about, I mean, literally involve fire. So it's like, I know that we had Waldschattenspiel, I think it's called, Shadows in the Forest, it's known as in English, where you have, ooh, I don't know this one. I have to, where's my notebook? Is this the right notebook? Yep. Okay, you've got the honor of having the first notes of the day. This is the Hey Clue. I've not heard of this. Is that HAICLUE? Interesting. I will have to. And oh, for the fridge magnets, not the theme. I'll check it out anyway. And then we held hands. I was seriously disappointed by that also. I mean, I played it with a friend. We played it a few times. We were ready for it. We were both, and we explored that theme of love and human feelings. It didn't seem to, the theme didn't really seem to come across for us. But even there, I appreciated that that was what it was meant to be about. Even if it's done in an abstract way, like, and then we held hands, I believe, is for me a very abstract game where, yeah, they added a theme to it. But that's more interesting to me than having an abstract game and then you add a theme of, okay, you're wizards, or okay, you are fantasy battle. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm trying to remember Matthew Dunstan's co-design where it's like penguins racing across some ice, and at least, okay, penguins racing across some ice, that's, you know, slightly different. It's not just generic fantasy, it's not just generic trying to kill people in battle, it's not just generic let's have more themes that are not all about aggressive killing, frankly. And Nicholas suggests maybe there would be a letter, and it's important that some people don't get it. A bit more stakes and intrigue, like an inverted Cool Runnings. Like a piece of wood instead of an ice cube. We'll have to... Ice Team? Let me... Sorry about this. Oh, if I look it up on Board Game Geek, I'm not looking at anything up on Board Game Geek because of my internet, and I'm going to just play it as safe as I possibly can until Friday. So I've got a new Stream Elements timer, which is to remind me every 40 minutes to do a wee bit of. So going straight aside and just a quick bit of stretching. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, stretching. The Cool Runnings was about what you said about fire. Okay. Anyway, so if you want, and yes, in summary, more games about human connections and love and attraction and writing letters and friendship and, yeah, maybe even, yeah, games about the nature of humanity. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Okay. So in the absence of other questions, I am going to go and do a bit of Hangman. Now, the way that this Hangman works is anybody's allowed to guess a letter, but you're not allowed to guess twice in a row. If you guess twice in a row, you're just disqualified. Now, guess your letters, and if for every letter that you get correctly, get some points, and if you guess the whole thing correctly, you get some points. And I'm going to look around, and I don't even have any games here, but okay, this is a game that everybody should know. Okay, let me just double check that this is the right. Yep, that's okay. So we're playing Hangman. Is there an E? No, there is no E. There is no E. There's no E, Alex. That is your turn. So anybody else is allowed to guess a letter now. What are you going to guess? Not W. No, there's no W. Press W in the chat. So apparently this is an inside joke for when Idol Michael was doing Party Pack, and yeah, someone just had W and nothing else, and they said that they ran out of time. Okay. So if anyone else... Nicholas, there is no N. There is no N. Yep, there is no N. I made a mistake once, so I'm just going to say there is no N in this game's name. And this is a game. I will not give you any more clues than that. It is a game I believe that most of you, if not all of you, will have heard of, because I know that, B, a good letter. I mean, I am definitely biased towards the brilliance of B, but there is no B, I'm afraid. There is no B. And if so, what? And I'll just have to copy paste that really quickly to help me with the admin behind the scenes. Okay, so any other guesses? A D. There is no D. There is no D. Javier comes in from YouTube with a guess. And Javier, you don't get any points over on YouTube, but I am excited to tell you that there is an R. There is an R. Now, Dakota. Oh, you're going to have to... Am I allowed... Is it okay for me to just call you Dakota as opposed... Or should I call you my friend Dakota or your friend Dakota? I mean, your friend Dakota sounds like it's... I mean, I would say it sounds a bit presumptuous, but then the entire thing... But yeah, anyway. C. So, yep, if you could actually give 100 points to Dakota, Xate, if you could give 100 points to Dakota, because there is indeed a C. And so there we go. Whoops, there we go. Now, I... Oh, Nicholas has got 100 points as well, because, yep, there is only one I, and so there we are going to go here. You might want Dakota or Kota, both work. Thank you for letting me know. And Xate, there was an R, but Javier's comments came up. Oh, man. I feel like probably you're... I mean, judge for yourself whether you deserve 100 points. I mean, you can give yourself 100 points if you want. It's R. T. There is no T. There is no T. So this is what we've got. So do you want to try and give it another letter? Do you want to try and guess another letter? Or do you want to guess the entire word? Oh, there is an O. So there, and the person who guesses the word, I think will get, let's say, at this point, 500 points. So, is there an O? There is. Rico, that's like someone's name. So, any guesses? Has anyone worked out what the game is? And I see that people are having an idea. I'm going to give it a minute to see if anyone on Twitch manages to get it, because I've seen, yep. So I'm going to, Javier is the winner, and because Javier isn't on Twitch, Yoda, Agricola, Yoda gets 500 points. But congratulations, Javier, you were completely correct. And Yoda gets 500 points, and there we go. It is, of course, 500 points, and thank you very much, Xate, for taking charge of that. And that is, so now hopefully, how many points does Dakota have? Dakota's only got 360. Oh, I wanted people to have, Rico is for sure a Twitch username. So it is, of course, as was guessed, Agricola. Yeah, Misery Farm, as some people call it. Great game by Uwe Rosenberg. Yeah, some might say the best worker placements game. I'm not going to make that claim, but I'm not going to refute it either. I wouldn't argue with anyone who said it was the best worker placements game out there. I think it's a very good one. Now, there's an XX Rico XX somewhere for sure. Let me do one last thing just to get people some points if you've jumped in and you don't already have some. And then if no one wants to do the do task, then we'll finish up until everyone's bored or until I get tired, whichever one happens first. So let me ponder a game name. It can't be something. A game name. Okay. Let me do. This is a name of. Hold on. Okay, this is a long one. Okay, this is a really long one, but this is because, yeah, this is something that's in my room, and I don't have that many games in this particular room up in Glasgow. So if anyone has an idea, and at the time, apparently that was the hottest format for usernames, XX. A game coach called Desire. This isn't annoying at all, says Xate. You know, sarcasm doesn't become you. Oh. Yes. There is 100% an O. So, you get an O there, and an O there, and an O there. So, Nicholas gets 300 points. And I'm going to say that whoever guesses this one will get. Yeah, we'll stick with. Yes, some number of points for whoever gets it. It's like 1,000 if there's more than 5 blanks remaining, and 500 if there's fewer than 5 blanks remaining. T, there is totally many T's. There are 2 T's, so you get 200 points. And there we go. Oops, that didn't quite work. There we go. So those are the T's. Oh, W. Yes, W. We've got 2 W's. So the W's are coming in. And it is that. So that's 200 points to Dakota. A. Is there an A? Is there an A? There is at least one A. And there's 2, 3, 4. There we go. There are 4 A's for Nicholas. H. Yes, H. 100%. There is, I think, only one H in this title. So that's 100 points for Crusade. Is there an N? Yes, there. Wait a minute. Is there? No, there is not an N. Let me double check. Yeah, that's surprising. That's like the first time that we've. E. Yes, absolutely. E. 2 E's in this title. And is it an F? Yep, there are 2 F's as well. And N? Nope, there's not N. Case. World of Warcraft, the board game. Oh, I can't see the actual words we're guessing when you put the clues up. Or when, do you mean you can't when I put the guesses up? So, let's just give some. There's more than 5 left, so Xate is getting a whole bunch of points for board games. And I will let's just give everyone 500 points for, and maybe let's not do that again. Let's see if this works. There we go. Everyone in chat can have 500 points. There we go. So that is the final thing. I think what I've learned is that it works fine when there's just a couple of people watching, but once you get beyond so many, it just gets a bit long and tedious. Sorry about that. But yeah, if anyone would like to now nominate me to do a thing or to add a task, then feel free to do !do task. Otherwise, that will be pretty much the end of the show, and we'll have a wrap up. Either way, if no one wants to claim this, I will. So, yeah, I'm really sorry about that, Xate. I think maybe asking you to do that was a bit too much, and I do apologize. Lots of love. But yeah. So we've had a brief morning show. It was some sort of chaos. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some sort of music. I'll be playing some board game themed stuff and... Oh, hello, So Crafty So. If you want to do !dotask, I will happily carry on for a wee bit. And yeah. Oh, Nicholas says it's difficult for me to know what we had already guessed, with the name going away from the screen and with the other incorrect letters not being on screen. I don't know if there's a Make a Hangman browser app or something like that. That's a fair point. But okay, so Nicholas says do task. So let me this one's a bit too much energy. So either read page 1 of a rule sheet like a Shakespearean actor or a rule book. And if you want to do that one, you can either request something from this box, or you can request maybe World of Warcraft, the board game, because I might be able to get the instruction sheet from it. Otherwise, a hair toss, because CD put that in. So which one would you prefer? And I have, or you can pick Flea, or indeed Friday, either of the Friedman Freeze games. So which one would you like to go? It's a free task with the free 500 points we got. Exactly. So so you get to choose the game. Flea. Out of the things on my desk. Friday. Or World of Warcraft, a board game. World of Warcraft. Okay. So I'm going to actually need to move a couple of things to get over. And wait, oh wow. Oh my gosh, this is heavy. Wait, okay. Okay. Welcome. Dost thou be ready to exploreth the misty eaves of the silver pine forests, the hills of the hinterlands yonder, of the rotten corruption of the plague lands? Dost thou be ready to set forth on great adventure, building your skills and prowess, whilst collecting equipment and artifacts of legends and power? Dost thou be the ready one to set thyself forth against the overwhelming will of the great enemy, such as Kel'Thuzad or the mighty Nefarian? Above all, dost thou be readieth to lead thy faction to honor and dominance of Azeroth? Enter the World of Warcraft. Welcome to the exciting experience that is World of Warcraft, the board game. This epic production is based on the powerful and hugely popular multi-threaded game of playing roles by the entertainment of the Blizzard, converting the digital futurist game into this traditional material. We hope that playing World of Warcraft, a board game, will give you and your friends an entirely new and exciting experience, both akin to and different from its online counterpart when adapting the role-playing experience from the computer screen. to the board. We were able to infuse World of Warcraft, a board game, with some tactile and social experiences that are not possible in this PC game, of course. The reverse does also be truth, in that it is not possible to capture every online game element when recreating the WoW experience in a board game format. Those of great WoW experience may note several elements that may not work exactly as they would expect them to in the online game. But we have confidence that players will enjoy the spirit of World of Warcraft, which has been captured in the cardboard, paper, and plastic contained herein. Object of the game. The object of the World of Warcraft, the board game, is to bring thy faction, either the Alliance or the Horde, to victory by either defeating one of the game's overlords or defeating the opposing faction in player versus player combat at the game's end after the 30th turn. Components. Below is a list of all the components you will find in your copy of World of Warcraft, the board game. This rules booklet. 1 game board. 120 plastic mint creature figures, including 8 green, 4 red, and 4 blue Murlocs. 8 green, 4 red, and 4 blue Gnolls. 6 green, 3 red, and 3 blue Ghouls. 8 green, 4 red, and 4 blue Scarlet Crusaders. 4 green, 2 red, and 2 blue Naga. 4 green, 2 red, and 2 blue giant spiders. 4 green, 2 red, and 2 blue Worgen. 4 green, 1 red, and 1 blue Wildkin. 4 green, 1 red, and 1 blue Ogres. 6 green, 3 red, and 3 blue Wraiths. I feel like there should be a stop task thing if people are 2 green, 1 red, and 1 blue Doomguard. 2 green, 1 red, and 1 blue Drakes. 2 green, 1 red, and 1 blue Infernals. 16 plastic creature figures. 7 double-sided character sheets. 2 single-sided character sheets. 63 character counters. 7 for each task. 15 cardboard stun tokens. 15 cardboard curse tokens. 6 cardboard bag tokens. 6 cardboard spellbook tokens. 1 turn marker. 216 class cards for 9 distinct classes. 120 item cards. 40 Alliance quest cards. 40 Horde quest cards. 47 event cards. 5 Kel Thuzad events cards. Free Overlord sheets. 58 energy tokens. In ones and threes. 58 health tokens in ones and threes. 138 gold tokens in ones and threes. 40 hit tokens. 20 armor tokens. 21 8-sided dice, 7 red, 7 blue, and 7 green. 2 creature reference sheets. 5 Lord Kazakh Overlord counters. 1 Kel Khuzad Overlord counter. 1 Nefarian Overlord counter. 5 points of interest tokens. 6 Alliance Quest tokens. 6 Horde Quest tokens. 8 War tokens. 2 each of 4 different colors. 12 action tokens. Components overview. Below, you will find a brief description of every game component. The game board. The large, colourful game board is the centerpiece of World of Warcraft, the board game. The game board represents the 7 areas in the realm of Lorduran and functions as the primary area of play. Plastic creature figurines. There are 13 types of creatures included in World of Warcraft, the board game. Throughout the game, as quest cards are drawn, the plastic figures representing creatures will be placed or spawned on the game board as directed as each quest. The green and red creatures are called quest creatures and must be defeated by players as their characters seek to resolve quests. Blue creatures are called independent creatures, and though they are spawned by quest cards, they are not tied directly to a quest and pose obstacles of creatures travelling through Lordaeron. Okay, and that was all just page 1 of a, how many pages is it? 38 page, 40 page rule book. Although having said that, one of the pages is just an advert of the trading cards game. And hello, Michael. It is lovely to see you, and thank you very much, So Crafty So. Thank you. And Alex says, okay, stop task now. Okay. I think I am going to have to add something that, like some sort of thing, I don't know how much it should cost, but something that says stop, just exclamation mark stop, and then it charges you some big number of points, like, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500, and just whatever I'm doing, not like during a normal discussion. It's not like, okay, Alan Paul and Matthew Dunstan and Rita are coming to talk about prototyping. Okay, exclamation mark stop. Okay, we need to pick a new topic. But certainly during this, if you want. Okay, so Alex did also do the task for, and said that Sate can feel free to choose between them. And okay. Now, either act out a famous Shakespeare scene or suggest 3 D&D character ideas. These might not be very good D&D character ideas. They will probably almost be bad character ideas. Or you can get me to act out a famous Shakespeare scene. Reroll. Oh, that could be a good thing. Oh yeah, like stop the task and do another thing. Yeah, like I don't know how much is suitable, like 1,000, 1,500, I don't know. Anyway, so unless you don't, so was that a reference to these two states that you really don't like these two things? I would suggest that this one might have more comedy value. 3 Dungeons and Dragons character ideas. And I promise to make them terrible ideas. Unless you want me to not. Okay, if I don't care, says Xate. That is totally fair. Okay, so 3 Dungeons and Dragons character ideas. So firstly, here's Spiffy, the claustrophobic gnome. Spiffy loves to run around, but whenever Spiffy's about to enter into a dungeon, Spiffy just can't handle it. And Spiffy has to stay at the entrance of every dungeon whilst the rest of the party goes in and then comes out. After every adventure, when they go to the mayor, Spiffy talks to all the villagers about how they were the one who defeated the dragon and lies to everyone. And then they try to backstab the party and they call the treasure. Okay, idea number 2. Here's is this in bad taste? I'm just wondering now. Is this in really bad taste? Me making light of genuine disorder like that? Okay. Squiffy, says Xate. Okay. They could be called Squiffy, sure. Okay, idea number 2. Kara, the really bad thief, who's always trying to steal off every player and tries to stab you all, but sometimes confuses a sword with a carrot. So amazingly incompetent, and you're never sure, is Kara actually trying to steal from you all? Or is Kara just trying to tickle you, or maybe get you to let down your guard so that one day Kara can actually stab you all and take all your treasure? So Kara is the incompetent thief who, bizarrely, whenever you fight a dragon, will just be in the perfect place, who happens to trip over and then falls into and delivers the critical blow, but it's become so frequent that you can't help but wonder, are they actually more accomplished than they're letting on? Okay, and idea number 3 for a Dungeons and Dragons character idea. Okay. A dark elf called Leonora, who's 1,500 years old and just wants to do yoga all the time. Now, no matter where they are, even if they're in the middle of a battle, they have to do yoga at 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night. They just have to do an hour of yoga, even if they're in the middle of the battle. Now, this is, of course, a big issue. So you have to start working around this yoga practicing. So then Leonora says, well, you know what, if I die, well, I've already been around for 1,500 years, just enjoying life and just want to keep myself, I'm not as young as I once was when I was only a couple of 100 years old. And hello, Brambeard Gaming, it is lovely to see you. And we have just been doing the dotask where I suggested 3 Dungeons and Dragons character ideas. So, yeah, I think that's a reasonable place to wrap it up because it's, yeah, this week is going to be a weird one because of all my internet. I'm not having much of a guest, but I hope that you're generally well. I hope that you're all good. If you want, feel free to chime in. We've already had a bunch of shouts about what we've managed to do recently, whether it's been playing games, trying to find daily joys, or trying to work out things to take responsibility for our own happiness, or getting out and playing, what was it, Tekken Suyu? Yeah, and if anyone else has any recent highlights or achievements they would like to share, feel free to. We've had a bit of a chat. We've had some internet issues that are likely to continue for a few days. And I have been talking about all sorts of things. Someone mentioned Haiku. We talked about themes like we'd like more games that are a little bit about the human emotions, maybe more games that are actually about love letters rather than just called love letter, which isn't really about love letters at all. Something that's actually about writing something and, trying to appeal to the hearts of someone else. Then I did a dramatic Shakespearean reading of page 1 of this manual. Talked a wee bit about a couple of books that I've been reading recently. One by Dave Grieber and Pretty Little Mistakes by Heather McElhatton, which I 100% recommend. And suggested a few terrible game ideas. Michael got up. That is indeed a good start. Well done, Michael. You submitted your tax return? Well done. Good going. Tawantin Suyu, not Chicken Suyu. Stretching time, back and forth, says my robots. Okay. Back and forth. Back and forth. Forth and back. Forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay. So, yep, has been lovely having you. Congratulations on everything that everyone has recently achieved. And yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm StuffBbez basically everywhere. BigCartel.com to buy my stuff, Twitter.com/StuffBez, where I tweet and I share probably the most. Instagram.com/StuffBez, sharing pictures. Twitch.tv/StuffBez. I'm streaming 10 a.m. UK time every day. YouTube.com/StuffBez for the old shows and StuffBez.com/Discord. Go there for the there's going to be a game jam in a few weeks, and also there's cat chats and music chats and all sorts of things. So that is me, and I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you, you've been wonderful. It's been a pleasure to be streaming here with you. Thank you. And over to you. What are you up to? You can share anything you want to. So is there anything you want to share, whether it's something you're looking forward to, hopes or ambitions? Feel free to share anything, whether it's exciting or trivial, something important or something just frivolous and fun. I mean, whether it's... And you know what? Like when I mentioned that, okay, is it important or just fun? But that's not really fair, because fun is important. It's important that we allow ourselves to have those moments of fun. And, this has really been changing the way that I think about things. Dave Grieber, who's got, it's... Yes, sort of talking about the fact that a real torture is doing something that's completely pointless, that hard labor might because it's done for a purpose, it feels like, okay, at least I'm doing something. I remember one time when I was given detention, and then as part of that detention, I was told, okay, you need to write this essay, and you can write it about anything that you like, and I will actually read it, and you need to write 1,000 words. And I'm not sure, like, was that teacher just curious to get into my head? I'm never quite sure what was going on there, but yeah, it felt like there was some meaning to it, and so it wasn't too much of a punishment. Whereas when you go in and being and yeah, anyway, so fun is important because it's important that we care for ourselves. It's important that we bringing fun and joy to other people. That's important. And those moments, those tiny moments, those moments of noticing a few flowers in the middle of a grass, or an actual human heart, a model of a human heart rather than just a cartoon heart. These are the moments to appreciate, and remembering your relationship with the world around you. And so, yeah, today, what am I up to? I got a couple of things to do. I'm going to um, just do a couple of hours of catching up with stuff, and then I'm going to be doing some more reading, and yeah, be cooking a meal tonight. Yeah, not loads going on, but yeah, I might be cooking some leek and maybe some apples in there and some cabbage, different things going on. So yeah, that is a wee bit of what I am up to. As I say, probably, and I think it's important to imbue your so-called leisure time with meaning, and there can be this kind of sense of global guilt at times to say, okay, there's this guilt associated with not working, and this kind of society, the societal impact of that is problematic, because if we were able to have um, a few hours of work that, okay, this is something that I really care about, and then a bunch of time for, okay, self-motivated self-development, and a bunch which might involve, yeah, reading a book. Maybe I'm going to read, there's a book about psychology, and yeah, it's called The Gamer's Brain, and I'd like to read a wee bit more about that. But other than a couple of small tasks, I'm going to allow myself the freedom to do whatever I want and not be guilty about that. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, other than making dinner, which I've got to do for the family. But yeah, over to you. What are you up to? You can share anything you want to. So, Xate hopes that Michael will play the crew. Yep, indeed. Apparently, Michael, Xate, and potentially someone else is on level 45. That sounds very exciting. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I will actually run over and get it very quickly. This is Gamer's Brain. It says how neuroscience and user experience can impact video game design. And it is very much about video game design, but there is a lot to learn for anyone interested in any type of games. And I'm just a wee bit through that so far, and I love the fact that basically in the introduction it says, hey, I'm really sorry, that was kind of a clickbaity title, but hey, now we can get into the proper stuff. And yeah, Michael is streaming at 2, but maybe after. Michael has actual work. Again, it's like, just, I don't know, I've kind of been pondering since, like, what does work even mean? I mean, just because you get financial remuneration for something, does that make it more work? Because there's a lot of emotional labour that doesn't get financially ever paid, but is being done by lots of folk. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to get into this big philosophical discussion necessarily, but yeah, you get where I'm coming from, right? But anyway, that has been that. If you want to check out my future streams, check out stuffbybeds.com/streams. Tomorrow I am doing musical shenanigans. I am going to be playing some sort of keyboard songs. So if you don't want to hear the keyboard, then please, yeah, I totally understand, and you don't have to be around. In the evening, I am also going to be streaming, and here's an invitation. We are going to be playing Among Us on Ross's server. If you're not already there, then let me know, and I will send you the Discord invite. So if you want to join in with a few newbies and a couple of people who already know what they're doing. Wednesday, I will be reading The Warlock of Firetop Mountain a bit more. Thursday is more music. Friday is Friendly Friday Forum, where people might just jump on, and that will, fingers crossed, on the Thursday, I will be getting better internet, but we will see what happens. Saturday, meeting Matt Warwick from Table, the Offline Gamer, and Sunday I'll be reviewing some more podcasts. But that is me for the next week. Feel free to share, spread the word. Although maybe if you do tell people that the internet will be better in a week. And now is the moment where I look for who to raid. That's an interesting discussion, says So Crafty So. And for sure, if you know what, if you want to kind of mention anything about it, if you're already on my Discord, like, feel free to either type it right now, or if you want to type it later on, type it in that discussion thing. Basically, those discussion things are anything that you are really interested in hearing a bit of forwards and backwards. Okay, so who is streaming right now? There's Aikataka. Oh, Alusam. Oh, Familiar Fry's going. Oh, I've not raided Familiar Fry in quite a while. And Fry is lovely. They are from Alaska, I want to say. Iceland. I think they're from Iceland. And so let us raid Familiar Fry in a minute. And feel free to share, to copy paste some or all of that raid message, and as we go into their chat. Now, yep, I'm looking forward to it as well and getting to know folk. I don't know anything about most of the people, and I'm not saying that this is going to be a whole, okay, now we really know everyone, but sometimes, yeah, playing games with folk, it's a nice way to get to know a wee bit about people. And also, speaking about getting to know people genuinely, in case you're unaware, Friendly Friday Forum, it's an open invitation. Anyone, like Dakota, So Crafty So, anyone who wants to is welcome to jump on and join me on video. If you would rather not, that's totally okay as well. That's your prerogative. But anyone who likes to be on camera and just jump in. I will be sharing the StreamYard link, which just works in your browser. It's super easy. Anyway, so having said all that, if there is anything else that you would like to say, then please say it now. Otherwise, there is only one thing left to do, and that one thing is the time So the time has come, so I face. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Do, do, do. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye. Bye bye.